quarantine, day 5. As we walked along the abandoned road looking for supplies, we came upon this. What must have been a house being built before the outbreak. Now it's been all but abandoned. A house like this is rich with resources. Let's go on in and see what we can find. Here, dude. Hey, can you hold that down there? Yep. You got it? Right there. How many feet is that? Hey. High five. Found this perfect wooden structure to be the support beam in our new lean-to we're building in the woods to get away from people. It's 4 1/3 foot long. I only need 2 2/3 feet. How many feet will be left?
What up, my quarantine people? Today is day 5 and we have made it through the week. That is awesome. Go ahead and give yourselves a pat on the back. We are going to just dive right in. As always, you know we love our sides check strategy here. Okay, and our statement for this is going to say, you would have blank feet of wood left. Okay, so when we go back and we listen to this, we're looking for anything about feet or wood, and obviously we're looking for maybe what was left, so maybe something happened to the wood. So that is what we would have written for our statement. That's our guiding light. Now when we go back and we identify based on that, we hear that the wood was 4 1/3 foot long, or feet long, sorry, proper English, and that I need 2 2/3, okay, for my lean-to, which is a little wooden structure as we hide away from everybody else right now. And then I've wanted to know how much I had left, so I would have circled that as well, okay? So this is going to lead me to a tape diagram. Is really a fraction model. It's kind of like a part whole model as well. Now the way I teach my kids this is, you don't have to split the whole thing up into the thirds. Some teachers would make you do that. I just kind of want you to have a visual representation of what you're doing. So the whole thing is 4 1/3 feet long, right? And I need 2 2/3. So 2 is about half, so maybe a little bit more than half if I'm guesstimating, right? Would be 2 2/3. This is what I need. And after I saw that off with my awesome saw you saw in the intro video, I'm going to have something left, and this is what my question mark is asking me for, okay? So what my tape diagram here is showing me is 2 2/3 plus something is going to give me 4 1/3. This is what I love about the tape diagram. It gives you a visual model that you can actually turn into an algebraic expression solving for your missing variable or empty space here if you're not that far, right? So how do you solve for this missing part of an addition equation? Right? You rewrite it using the inverse operation, using your fact family as 4 1/3 minus 2 2/3 equals my answer, right? My question mark. I'll even put my question mark here. Now this even makes sense because if I start, if the whole thing is 4 1/3 and then I get rid of 2 2/3, that's going to leave me with what I have left, right? The way I teach this might be a little bit different than your teachers, okay? But this is the best way, believe me. What I like to do is I like to line up the fractions in the whole numbers together. I don't split them apart, although if you did that because your teachers teach you that and you got the right answer, great. This is just something I like to do. And then I'm doing 4 minus 1. Now I can't do 1, or sorry, 1 minus 2. I can't do 1 taking away 2, right? I don't have enough. So what we say in my class is more on the floor, go next door and get 1 more here, okay? And this goes back to our big 1. And so I'm borrowing a 1 whole, but the fraction that's really equal to is going to be 3/3, right? So, oops, sorry, that should be a 3, my bad. And so I'm taking away 1 from 4, so it becomes a 3. I'm giving it to my fraction, and when you do that, I turn it into a fraction that is equivalent to 1, which is 3/3. I call it a big 1. That's supposed to be a 1 around it, not a box, but that's okay. So then I rewrite the problem. My new whole number is 3. If I had 1/3 and I get 3/3 more, I'm left with 4/3. And then I'm going to subtract 2 and 2/3. And now I can do my subtraction. 4 minus 2 is 2. My denominator stays the same. 3 minus 2 is 1. And I'm left with 1 and 2/3 feet. So if I put this back in for my question mark, 2 and 2/3 plus 1 and 2/3 would equal 4 and 1/3. That's what I just solved. So I have 1 and 2/3 feet of wood left, or foot and a little bit more of wood left. And that's how you do that. Okay, so we had our statement, we identified, we developed our plan, we wrote our equation, we solved it, and then we checked it by putting it back into the statement and reading it to make sure it made sense. Thank you so much for joining us here on Quarantine Math. Our first week is over. You guys so far have had over 1,000 views for 4th grade. I think you guys are actually leading the way, so keep watching it. You're doing awesome. Thank you so much. Quarantine Math and Instructed Beats love having you join us every day. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, like the video. As always, wash your hands. Don't touch your face. If you're feeling sick, stay inside. Stay safe. Do math. I'm out. I'll see you guys Monday.